welcome back to Cara Plans. It is time for a weekly check-in. This is the first one for January in this new gorgeous P&E Budget by Paycheck workbook. I just love this color. And I feel like the covers are a little heavier, more plastic, thicker plastic this year, so I'm loving this workbook this year. So for the first expense tracking, I am going to do January 1st through the 7th, even though that doesn't match up with my pay period. I do a monthly closeout, so that's what this is more matching up with rather than my pay periods. So I have my expenses that I've tracked every single day this week. Every day I log into my bank account and I track them. I list them here, and I also add them in on my calendar here because I like to see the visual of the color coding and everything, and these labels are available in my Etsy shop, so go check those out. There's 20 different colors of those, and there's some script stickers and some other stuff in there too. Still growing that. For the spring, I'm planning on adding more. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what I spent my money on this week, and I do have this nice budget category organizer also from the Budget Mom. I think this was in one of her free emails, or it's available in her free resources. I can't remember which. Just so we know what color code that we're going to do this in, and I'll tell you why I do that in just a second. So what I do is I start at the top with the first expense, and it's giving, and this is my color for give. So I take that and I highlight the category and the total that I spent, and then I come down here and I also make a category down here so that I can total up the week at the bottom. So when I'm doing my monthly closeouts, I can look at the bottom of each page and know what my spending is. And I believe that was the only give. So we're done with that one. And then my sinking fund spending, I think I don't have a color listed on here. I think what I'm going to use though is gray anytime I spend from a sinking fund. So that way it's not kind of bunched in with what I'm saving in my sinking funds. Okay, so that was the only sinking fund spending that I had. And then I did have a business expense. Oh, I forgot to do the bottom. Okay, and then I did have a business expense. Normally I used to keep my business stuff in a separate bank account. That bank account wasn't working for me anymore, so I did have to close that. I am hoping to separate them again at some point, but for right now, everything's going through one bank account for the time being. Okay, and then the next category we have is food. So this was just a quick run to Giant Eagle for some groceries. And I did have a HelloFresh expense. And I don't know if you guys are following, but this is not the same price that I was paying for HelloFresh in 2021. I honestly don't remember them telling me prices were going to go up, so I was kind of shocked to see that. And I've decided to cancel my HelloFresh. So that will be, I think that's the last box. That expense there. It was already expensive as it was, but to bump it up again just isn't going to work for me. And honestly, there are weeks that I don't have time to cook the meals. So HelloFresh is gone after this week. And then we had fun category. So I got some shirts for Disney off of Etsy. And I know this is already over my fun budget. But that's okay. And then we had a going away party that we went to that I provided some of the supplies for. So that was fun. And then we did have some bills come out this week. And then the other thing I like to mention is as soon as I spend the money, I track it on this calendar. And then you'll see on my budget stickers, there's a little white box. So once it clears my bank account, or if it's a cash spending, I check that box off to know that that money's already cleared and gone. Just a nice way of double checking to make sure that things like on auto pay are actually paid, and that things that I thought I charged actually went through. So then we have bills. And we had an insurance expense. This is UPMC's My Health Insurance. And then we had a car expense. This was a car wash. My car was in desperate need of a wash. There was some salt and stuff on the road, so I wanted to get that washed and cleaned off as soon as it was kind of some decent weather. And then we had, this is, emergency fund. So emergency fund goes into savings. So we count that as putting it into savings. And we're going to do that as a different color than spending those. Okay. All right, so we have giving just $75, that one expense. And then I'm going to call this spent sinking funds. And that was $23.50. And then business. And this will help keep me my business expenses separate too. I do use QuickBooks for that, but it's nice to see during my bank account transactions. Okay, and then the first one we're going to need a calculator for is food. So $25.74 plus $69.93 plus 20 plus $14.38. So we were at $130.05 for food this week. And then fund money, we have $113.04 plus $31.39. It's $144.43. And up next is bills, so $530 plus $78 plus $152 plus $14.83, $774.83. Insurance, just one expense, that's $198. And if you follow it any way, other check-ins, that's like double what I was paying for health insurance last year. My advanced premium tax credit went down because I'm making more money. So that's always a good thing. My job is going well, so I'm not going to complain about that. I know there's a lot of people that pay a lot more than that for healthcare, so I'm not going to complain. And then my savings is $500. All right, so that's where I am for the first week of the month. And I believe on my Paycheck bill tracker, I budgeted $200 for food for the 2 weeks. And granted, there's a couple extra days on here, but right around $130, that's pretty much on par for being where I want to be on food. Now, the HelloFresh will be gone pretty soon, so it should help with the food budget a little bit more. Okay, and then let me just write income here because I did for the other two. All right, so that's our first weekly check-in in the 2022 Budget by Paycheck workbook. And then you can see how I'm keeping myself double accountable. So all of that is already on here as well. So thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, put them below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.